Przedstawiam w tym momencie Harry Potter, dziadostwo Hogwartu. Pani profesor, nie wiem, czy zrobiłem zadania. Profesorze! Kaseta z niemieckimi pornosami. Pociąg, ciufcia, Hermiona z wypiętym tubskiem już jedzie. Pa! Eś! Puść tam mnie, kurwy! Portki Gales. Siła, pochwał.
Books so rarely prepare one for reality. A real goblin mine. It's even grander than I had expected.
Musimy poszukać jakiejś informacji na temat planu. Co szykuje ten pierdolony
I
goblin?
cannot believe I met a goblin.
Spokojnie, spotkasz jeszcze ich więcej. Niektóre będą
Look
chciały
at
cię
this
zabić.
lift. Impressive workmanship for so simple a device.
Jasne.
Aggressive workmanship aside, it's the only way forward.
Zapalmy w piecu, może to uruchomi system. Tak jak podejrzewałem. Winda. Przeniesie nas w dolne kondygnacji tej kopalni.
I still can't believe we're inside a real goblin mine.
Rebellion. Accio.
Wow, uwaga! Nie? A, to były te torby, dobra, nieważne.
I've read about mines like this.
Accio.
Seeing is something else altogether.
Nie jest to proste, ale damy radę.
To ja przesyła 10 zł.
Okej.
Poniżej
Za mną.
6 zer to
I'll
wszystko
meet you.
małe
Need to stay
siusiu.
close to me.
Dziękuję, to ja za dysię.
Knees than these.
Nie wiem, czy chcesz się z nim napierdalać, czy potrafisz. Ale ja bym z nim pojechał. Na grubo. Mogę Kurwa. Mogę jednego oszukać tak, że będzie dla nas pracował. Zobacz, to mi czegoś nauczyłem.
Imperial.
Spokojnie. Wow.
Accio.
That was a little more than I'm used to.
Get us through here safely, Amit. You have my word.
Kolejna zagadka techniczno-mechaniczna. Bramka, która się otwiera. Się nie otwiera.
Accio.
Dźwignie.
Being watched. It's
Coś tu na górze było wcześniej.
Rebellion.
Jakaś siatka, ale chyba tam dojdziemy. Za mną.
I feel
Siatka,
like a
kratka.
character from one of the adventure books I read during the summer holidays.
A, ja podobnie, stary, ja podobnie.
Amit.
Że 3 dni, od 3 dni taka zajawa. Mam to samo.
To be
Zobacz to.
plans, a schematic. They're building something. I can't quite make it out. Curious. Let me know if you see any more plans or schematics.
Coś gotują, jakiś
We can't
kocioł.
return to Lodgok empty-headed.
A, może to jest stołówka. Sprawdźmy jeszcze tutaj.
Rebellion.
Boros pełen kasy. Srebrne okulary. Sneaky Bicky Boy. Jest ich trochę. Okej. Co my tu mamy?
Fascinating to see gobbledygook written in a goblin hand. The flourishes are extraordinary.
Spokojnie, jak wyjdziemy, będziesz to czytał.
What they've been building down here.
Już chyba nic, ale pod nami było przejście. Za mną. Zobacz to. Kolejny pergamin.
If I'm translating this correctly, and I think that I am, they're building something rather large.
Rebellion.
What? There must be more notes around here. What could they be building?
Sporo.
Imperial. Bombarda.
Oh, this really is too much.
Stay close. I've handled much worse.
Widzę kolejny piec.
Another boiler. This place is
Bombarda.
more complex than I had expected.
Confringo.
Okej. Zobacz tutaj, kolejne zwiki. Jak to połączymy, to będziemy mieć chyba całe plany tych
What are
gości.
they going to build? This mine is too small for whatever it is.
Tak, wtedy nie przyjdziemy, stary.
Boiler activated that handle. See it?
Bombada!
Okej, a przejść do tej skrzynki. Warto rzucić okiem. Chyba kolejne plany. Posąg niuchacza. Jest. Warto było. Drzwi. Chyba wracamy się. Zwiastun Zaki zrobił, a coś nowego zrobił?
I see. Akio should easily engage the handle.
Nie no, intro jest genialne, no. Jest bardzo dobrze zrobione, takie wymarzone. Świetna robota, Zaki. Ale przed nami kolejne czary. 58% gierki, a fabuła... Przed nami, za mną. Zaraz dowiemy się, coś knuje ten pierdolony goblin.
Akio.
Chodź, tędy. Nigdy mało księżycowego kamienia, pamiętajcie. Na rozwijanie swojej bazy. Schody do góry. Sprawdźmy to. Okej. Są gobliny.
Wizard kind will submit to us once the war is over.
Tu jest Rangrok. Nie. O, stary, to moim zdaniem... sprawdźmy inne pomieszczenia. Jeszcze nie jestem po wszystkich próbach. Jeszcze w powietrzu zebrałem z niego item.
How many of them are there?
That should be the last of them, I'll meet.
Okej, trzeba to rozpalić.
This is not good. They're building enormous drills, bigger than this mine could contain.
Górnicy, strzeleni górnicy. Mogliśmy się tego domyślić. Kurka. Tak, teraz użyjemy tego haka. Racja. Cybuch działa. Możemy uciekać. Widzę na samą górę. Jazda.
I need a moment to catch my breath.
Spokojnie, takie historie to codzienność poza Hogwartem. Musisz częściej wychodzić za murem zamku.
Now that we know what they're up to, we can get out of here.
Spadajmy stąd. Śmierdzi mi tu 60% za chwilę. A mamy 15 godzinę. Ale świci. Amit. Chyba nam się udało, mamy
Can we
wszystko.
please talk about...
That wasn't so bad, was it?
It was. It really was. I'm afraid I've had enough adventure for one day. For a lifetime, perhaps.
Thank you, Amit. I couldn't have done it without you. Now,
Amika wronki,
if you
bez
don't
ciebie by się nie
mind,
udało.
I'd like to have a word with Lodgok.
Understood? I'll leave you to it. Your goblin secrets are safe with me, but I get to write the book about this escapade
Nie ma
someday.
problemu, będą o tym książki, stary. Do zobaczenia.
Without further ado, adieu.
Właśnie, może sztuczna inteligencja powinna na koniec gierki od razu opisywać taką książkę jakby z tych wszystkich wydarzeń, co sobie postać twoja grała, Logan Cappuccino i tak dalej, i potem sobie to czytasz. Landkok!
They're building enormous drills. We found their plans. Ranrock must be searching for the repositories.
I fear you are correct. Other than Rookwood Castle, however, I do not know where else he plans to search.
I've been wondering about something else you said before we entered the mine.
Yes?
If you share Ranrock's views, then why are you helping me?
I expected Rookwood Castle to be deserted when I arrived to begin my search. So was surprised to find a witch there who'd set up a sort of improvised research site. She was studying something so intently that she almost didn't notice me.
No mówi o tej dziewczynie, no.
When she looked up, I thought she would react with fear or disdain. But instead, she did something that I will never forget. Without a moment's hesitation, she smiled and asked me to sit with her. She told me that she was a researcher and showed me a small, oddly shaped container with a strange symbol on it. She was certain it was made of goblin metal, but was unable to open it. She wanted to work together.
Miriam.
Yes. But how did you...
Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container.
The reverence with which she talked of goblins and their intelligence and skill, it caught me entirely off guard. I'd never been treated with such respect by a witch or wizard. So, to my surprise, I let her study the container if she would allow me to search the castle on my own. We parted ways, with her promising to share what she'd learned. More of Ranrock's recruits arrived, and we began to dig, eventually locating the first repository. Ranrock was thrilled with our discovery, but furious when I told him about Miriam. Berated me for trusting a witch, and I heard she'd been killed.
To Logan stoi jak Logan.
You think Ranrock murdered her?
Logan do Logan thinks.
I don't want to believe it, but I don't know. After that, something shifted in me.
Tak,
I had seen
mocy
how the
skarbców
power
jest
from
zła.
the repositories was
Niszczy
transforming
banie im.
Ranrock, transforming all of them. I could no longer remain a part of it.
Thank you, Lodgok, for telling me this.
I tell you all of this so that you understand what is at stake. Ranrock never found all of Bragbor's journals, but the ones he did find suggest that Bragbor at some point built a repository far greater in size than the one beneath Rookwood Castle. What you've discovered here today worries me deeply. If Ranrock learns of the location of that repository, I fear we shall be destined for a great war. I will find out what Ranrock knows. Watch for my owl.
Czekuj sowy, no. Game changer, game changer. Zadanie istotne. O. Więc to tak. 7 misji do końca głównych i koniec zadania? Okej, poczekamy jeszcze, pewnie coś dostaniemy za chwilę.
I
Tak.
Professor Fig.
I believe my next broom upgrade to be even more impressive than the last. Come by.
Świetnie, ulepszona miotła, tego potrzebujemy. W końcu jakieś dobre nowiny, a nie smuty. Potem idziemy do profesora. Sięgając z nieba, Kubo Dalbiego Wixa, ulepszenie miotły. Robi się. Przynajmniej decydujące starcia. Jeszcze pewnie kilka prób. Tak, nawet nie kilka, tylko 2 dokładnie. 2 próby u tych profesorów. Mi się wydaje, że za chwilę będzie próba. I na górze? Tu coś może być? Aha!
With Mr. Bickle's friends. I believe I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogsmeade, and we will devise a plan.
Hej.
Accio. Compulso.
Czyli z od Nati. Spadajmy stąd. Są tu proroku, ale one są zależne od tego. Od jakby misji, które robisz. W momencie, w którym jesteś w fabule. Więc to nie jest tak, że będziesz sobie czekał i na końcu fabuły sobie zrobisz wszystko w zimie. Tylko wiesz, robisz setami i mija zima akurat. Któryś quest uruchamia filmik. Pada śnieg. Ale może jak robisz fabułę, to może potem to wraca. Możesz sobie grać cały czas. Okej, ulepszenie miotły. Co to kosztuje, proszę pana? 4 koła, panie, oszczędności są.
You'll be thrilled with that broom. I promise you. Thanks for stopping by. You're all set with the new upgrade. I can't wait to hear what you think. This may sound presumptuous, but
You'd like me to report back with even more flight details.
you know me well. I feel I'm almost there. I just think I can improve broom flight a bit more. Miss Ray's is running a time trial at the South Coast course. Not ideal, really, what with rumours of Ranrock's lot and Ashwinders infiltrating the place. However, if you're flying high above them, you should be all right, I think.
Might be a bit dangerous for a broom trial. I'll see what I can do.
I hope you are able to complete these trials. I have a feeling this final upgrade is going to be a sweeping success. Do be careful, of course. I shall look forward to hearing from you
No oczywiście,
soon.
panie LB Wicks. Do zobaczenia. Wszystko będzie znany raport. Jutro będzie na trójeczkę ulepszone. Ci na maksa. Dodatkowo sporo rzeczy zebraliśmy. Ale w dalszym ciągu myślę, że to nie było nic dojebanego. Tak, te seki można tylko zostawić. Będziemy ulepszać, ale to już pod koniec. I Mendareje, zlatanie, człowiek z księżycami to wiadomo. Dobra, liźnijmy sobie tą smoczą odprawę. Popina nas sporo już czeka.
This is a change of pace from our last outing.
Don't remind me. The thought of that tent still makes my blood boil. I've been thinking about those poor dragons in the fighting ring. The collars they were wearing, they appeared to be goblin silver. I think a collar is precisely what we found at that poacher camp. I've never known poachers to use anything like that before.
The dragon that attacked my carriage was wearing a collar, and Professor Fig was genuinely baffled by its behavior.
That attack always did strike me as a little strange, seemingly coming out of nowhere. Surely you aren't suggesting that the collars somehow control the poor creatures?
Te obroże są nasączone tą złą magią.
I don't think the dragon we set free was wearing a collar, but we should check. And if we can find her, we can return her egg.
Tak, trzeba je odszukać, ale wydaje mi się, że nie miała obroży.
That's a good idea. We need to see this
Spalony,
through.
1-1.
I'll start looking into it right away. There
Okej,
was
dzięki za
something
info.
else that I wanted to discuss with you. I didn't want to press it before. It seems I may have caused you more trouble with Victor Rookwood. Why is he after you?
A na razie wolę nie mówić.
If it's all right with you, I'd rather not say. At least not at the moment.
Ściany mają uszy.
Understood. We all have our secrets. I shan't press for more details. In fact, I should probably be going. I'd like to track that dragon down as soon as I can.
A, tylko pogadaliśmy. Mam czekać na wiadomość. Okej, spotkamy się z Sebastianem w sprawie tej czarnej magii. Jestem. Wzywałeś mnie.
Speak with my uncle.
I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne.
Well, what did he say?
I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft. Nor Anne.
I had to stop that goblin from killing my sister. He had no right to banish me from my own twin. If he thinks banishing me means I'm going to give up on Anne, he's sorely mistaken.
He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form, and that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black.
Huh? That relic, dark magic or not, is the key to saving Anne. To reverse that curse. I will not lose Anne for good.
A, może
I
ma
shall
rację.
send the crest to Anne. She'll know that we need to meet.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Nothing, just a thought. Now I'm more determined than ever to learn what power that relic has.
Właśnie, jaki herb wysyłasz Annie?
What did
Annie?
you mean you'd send Anne a crest so that she'd know to meet you?
We just lost our parents, and we were packing up to go and live with Solomon. We couldn't take everything. She was carefully organizing her prized possessions, a box of artifacts she'd collected to do with our family. Jewelry, cards, old photographs. She got to her favorite, a handmade crest, and without a second thought she handed it to me. This will keep you safe, she said. It holds no enchantment, but I've kept it with me since. That's how I can reach Anne. I'll get the crest to her with plans to meet.
Be careful, Sebastian. Your uncle could intercept it. We'll be expelled.
Even if Ominous is upset with us, he has no love lost for his family. He'd use their connections to the headmaster if we needed his help.
I shall wait to hear from you then.
Thank you. I very much appreciate you standing by me through all of this.
Dzięki wielkie.
I'll send you an hour when I have news.
Oczywiście. Jesteśmy na łączach. Pisz. Spotkaliśmy się z Poppy, z Sebastianem. Podstawy szantażu, a teraz naszą koleżną przyjaciół. Mamy takich w sumie 3 przyjaciół. Ten Amif w sumie też się zakumplował z nami. Sięgając z niej, porozmawiać z Imentą, to w takim razie podstawy szantażu. O co biega?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hog's Head. I saw some Ashwinders heading
Jasne,
there.
możesz na mnie liczyć.
And as my mother would never go near the Hog's Head, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Jasne, ale wydaje mi się, że jak cię Matula się dowie, to chyba wylecisz, albo ci da jakiś szlaban.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Okej, gdzie ich znajdę?
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
Świetnie, w takim razie lecę.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a
Okej,
bit
spoko.
more freely.
Za co załatwię. Wbijamy do Hogsmeade, przyjdziemy się po zaśnieżonym Hogsmeade. No, jest pewnie tak z 13 godzina.
Isco, what have I done?
Się stało? Wszystko okej? Odwagę se pierdolę.
I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying
Robimy mu
to
sprawę
gather
w Ministerstwie
evidence
Magii.
against
Możemy
them.
go skasować za polowanie na magiczne zwierzęta.
And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vault.
Chodzi o te
And
skarbce.
you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up until I came home one night and found my husband gone and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Nic się nie martw, zapobiegniemy temu. Dlaczego Harlow miałby porywać pani męża, a nie panią?
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
A,
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco.
ty, to nie,
but
ten
he'd
mąż
never
to
want me to
wykiwał ją. To
compromise
mąż ją
my
wykiwał.
integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he
On to
would
chyba
escape
ukartował
by
z nimi.
now. It makes me concerned as to
Pierdolony.
why he hasn't.
Okej, a czyli ci na pewno potwierdza
Are
porwanie.
you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Specjalnie to zrobił, żeby to ukartować. Ale tego mi było trzeba.
Thank
Dzięki.
you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I
Tak,
don't know
ukartował
what to
śmierć, żeby na
do.
rozwodzie
I
kasy
shall
nie
do all I
wyjebać.
can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now,
Nie, nigdy nie jest za
find
późno.
Mr. Bickle's other two friends. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all along.
Tylko okej?
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir,
Okularów?
I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note when
Liścik, znowu pojawia się
who
liścik.
came into the shop. I had the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months.
We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here,
Szantażuje cię teraz,
upon
kumam.
my cooperation.
What does he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so
Moją
often."
przyjaciółkę.
I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never...
Pomożemy, okularniku. Będzie git.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man. But when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
Okej, a jak pan tuszuje te wyładzenia? Na
What
fakturach
have
coś
you
pan
been
wali,
doing
nie?
to
W bok.
keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and be worthy of Rosie.
Okej, dzięki za rozmowę,
Thank
stary.
you for
I
telling
rozwiążę
me.
te problemy szybciej
I'm gathering
niż
evidence
to
to take
możliwe.
Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Immediately. Jasne, wariaciku, wszystko będzie ogarnięte.
Hurry off before Mr. Hill returns.
Teraz ostatnia osoba, z którą muszę porozmawiać, która jest terroryzowana i szantażowana, to Agabus Filbert. Dzień dobry. Agabus Filbert, to on.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation.
Wszyscy się boicie go.
I refused.
Kurde. Jebany Harlow.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home.
Jebany złodziej. Ogarniemy to,
The
stary.
book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone
Czyli
who may be
rozakładają mu
willing
sprawę już
to help.
oficjalnie. Będziesz zeznawał. Zajebiście.
Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Czekajmy się z Net i znamy jej raport. Dzień dobry, krukonko. Tak jest. Coś więcej wiemy. No, czyli szantażysta tutaj, są kradzieże. Wydaje mi się, że to będzie mały pojedynek z Harlowem. Do tego to wszystko zmierza.
It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Jest Nettie. O nie. Zawsze była w wyznaczonym miejscu, jak się mieliśmy gdzieś spotkać. Obawiam się, że ludzie Harlowa mogli ją zabrać.
Natty must be around here somewhere.
Halo?
Natty's wand.
O nie.
She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quick.
Kryjówka tych pierdolonych
Footprints led to this room.
narkomanów, kurwa, z Gryffindoru.
There must be a way forward. Accio! A hidden door.
O, o wiele lepiej.
Natty must have been taken this way. Revelio.
O, pieniądze z ich ciemnych interesów.
I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
It's not gonna work.
It might.
Using that girl as bait, no one's coming for her. Killer.
Harlow says her friend will be reckless enough. He wants them alive.
Only a Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Just keep an eye out.
O tak, czas na pojedynek. Zostaw ta ją! A, nie tutaj. Teraz wjeżdżam ja. Zostaw ta ją!
Bombarda! Confringo! Expulsor! Levioso! Bombarda! Confringo!
Gdzie ona jest?
The book
Jest.
of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back.
Gdzieś to musi być, albo troszkę dalej. Tu leży to, a tam?
Revelio.
You found us.
Jest.
I knew you would realize I had left my wand over here. I need your help.
Siema, siema. Czekajcie, nie mogę was uwolnić jeszcze. Różdżka i Skarejba. List miłosny od Tona muszę jeszcze namierzyć, stary. Jest! Dobra, nie będziemy tego czytać, ale mamy to.
Love letter from Rosie.
Musi być wszystko
You wanted
odszukane.
me to destroy this if I found it.
Było proste, oczywiście, ale warto, bo można było to szybciej skończyć, a człowiek tu się wróci, będzie zadowolony. Może to da procencik dodatkowy? Jestem już, jestem już. Jesteście wolni. Panie Isko, panie Isko.
Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you.
To nie jest szantaż, to nie był fake.
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed. And there's an anti-apparition
Dziękuję Berman,
on the
dziękuję
cells.
Draker, Szafroczek, po prostu Mati,
Even
Luki,
Matthew's skill
Coldy.
with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Mam już ją, mam.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Jasne. O, nieźle. Musimy teraz pomóc Nate. Dobra robota.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must...
Padamy stąd. Ale jak mówić, wszystko wyczyściłem, nikogo tu już nie ma. Oho. Co to?
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll
A,
dispatcher.
dzień dobry.
Oh, thank goodness the two
To
of
jest
you are
policjantka
safe.
jakby. Pani komisarz, witam pani Rutsinger. Mamy dowody,
Mr.
niezbite
Ray told
dowody.
me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife, Miss Onai. Your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe, to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Otto Dibble.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
Jasne, ja rozumiem pewnie, że tak.
Yes, officer. Do you have enough evidence to take down Harlow and the rest of Rookwood's lot?
Well, it's certainly a good start. We shall see. But you can leave this to me now. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Dobra robota.
I have some promising news about the location of our Hebridean dragon friend and where to return her.
Jasne, rynek Hogsmeade.
Meet me in the town circle in Hogsmeade.
Oczywiście. 59%, za chwilę 60. Skradzione jajo. Oddamy to jajko w końcu. Ale impreza dzisiaj.